Test drive literally means training, education, and evaluation of road safety driving competencies in a virtual environment. I'm Bernardino Silfaya from Damopo University. One question that I always get is that, is test drive a game? Sorry to disappoint you gamers out there, but test drive is not a game because the intent or purpose of its development is not to entertain. So what makes test drive different from other driving simulators? Number one is that it will make use of live Philippine road scenarios, especially to that of the accident-prone cases. Also, this project will be very dependent on the results given by the other projects in the transport group. Number two, what makes test drive different? This project is firmly grounded on psychological principles, particularly to that of the behavioral perspective. For the behaviorist, every reaction is always triggered by a particular stimulus. Thus, if you place our driving simulator a known stimulus that can cause a road crash, a particular reaction can be studied or tried in order for one to know or prevent the bad reaction that will take place. And lastly, test drive will incorporate technology into the learning process. The skill that should be learned in avoiding road crashes by having the right reaction is on test drive. The system will also try to build up character in the driver by making him knowledgeable towards road safety and maybe a bonus trait to be kind and courteous. Thus, it could produce in due time the best driving behavior of the Filipino. The target outcome or outputs of test drive are as follows. Number one, to construct and produce a scale that is reliable and valid that can measure the road safety competency of the driver. This entails going to item generation, content adequacy assessment, which is validity, factor analysis or item production, internal consistency assessment or the reliability, construct validity, replication, and evaluation of the instrument. Another target output of this project is the transfer of the road scenarios to digital form. Adding them all up creates a database of Filipino-based road accident or crashes scenario that in turn can be placed into the VR environment, which has a random instances engine generator. And lastly, the target output really is a driving simulator that is proudly Philippine-made and designed. The practical yet productive application of test drive are as follows. Number one, it can be used by accredited driving schools in teaching their student drivers the proper reaction in avoiding road accidents. Number two, imagine the time and money saved if this will be applied in the granting of licenses. And number three, being an open source, the simulator can also be applied to other types of transportation or vehicles. The intent in the development of test drive is that it envisions the Philippines to be one of the safest roads to drive by, a reduction of road crashes, thus ultimately saving